Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new video. And this is going to be the last one for first year. So in today's video, you'll notice I'm wearing the same thing, and it's because I'm filming this on the same day. This is going to be my in-person lab reflection video. One of the important things that you have to be able to do professionally, and in my opinion personally, with technician is self-reflection. And this is actually reflected in an NAPRA competency. So NAPRA competency 2.1.1, engage in regular self-reflection to recognize personal competencies, limits, and identify areas for professional learning and improvement. So whenever something's relevant in my videos from now on, when it comes to me sharing about this journey with pharmacy technician, I'm going to do my best to share the NAPRA competencies, which is actually the things that we get tested on. One of the things that we get tested on, they want to make sure that you're competent. And the NAPRA competencies actually cover a point to what is called entry to practice. So if you can meet those competencies, it means you're at the level of a technician that's ready to enter the workforce, basically. And that's where they need to get us up to when we graduate. Again, this will be the final video for my vlog content of school for first year. I feel like I need a t-shirt that says, I survived first year pharmacy technician school, because it's been a wild one. I now want to talk about the in-person lab because it was involved a lot of firsts. So it's the first time I got to meet my instructors in person. I think pretty much all of them were there at some point during the week, but I didn't actually get to talk to all of them, but the ones I did get to talk to, I really enjoyed it. It was a great way for us to get to know them and them to get to know us, because up until this point, it's been basically a two-dimensional object on a Zoom screen. Everybody now is a 3D person. It's really crazy, actually. Let's just jump right into this. So my thoughts about in-person lab. So I absolutely loved it. Many reasons. One, the information we're required to gather, like usual dose, is often on the bottle. So often prescription stop bottles are a great resource to check if you're struggling to find it in an online resource like Lexi or DBD. I have a sample that I was given from my neurologist, actually, that's a prescription medication called Suvex, which includes naproxen and a triptan. I think it might be sumatriptan, but I'll take a picture of it. And then, so you'll notice here that it has a usual dose. Now, because it's a triptan, it's going to be like take at the onset of migraine, basically. And it's also got the pain component naproxen, so there's a little bit more involved. But on prescription bottles and stock bottles, it'll give you things like usual dose or all of that. It's kind of similar to like how on a bottle of OTC, how they have a recommended usage. So this is actually the bottle of stuff that I use to do those transition videos that I made. So I actually don't need to use transition videos anymore, but so usual directions here. I don't know if that'll be visible or not, but actually prescription bottles tend to have a similar thing, but it'll say recommended dosage or like usual dosage on it. And to have that when you're struggling to like find a usual dosage, because in lab they don't really give us a reason why the prescription, like the patient is taking the prescription. So it's like looking through all of them and you're like, well, this one doesn't match for this one, but it does for the rest of them. So then you can kind of use the usual dosage and use it as a second reference if you need to. The second next reason that I loved this class was it was so much easier to ask questions for the instructors. They had a lot of instructors, so getting help or verifying something with an instructor was extremely easy, and they had a lot of instructors even though it was a pretty decent group for my group. The virtual lab gets frustrating at times because sometimes you need to like verify a dosage with one of the instructors, and to get their attention and have your questions answered that you need to do in order to like sign off on that was not my favorite in the virtual lab. Sometimes they'll give you an incorrect dosage range to be able to test whether you can actually find the information and all of that. And those are just not very easy sometimes to be able to get the verification that you need to be able to continue on with the lab. And then you're spending like extra time waiting for that verification so you can continue with the lab. It is very frustrating and is like my least favorite part of the virtual lab is when you need help. And plus in person, there's no delay issues. that you have on Zoom. So then you don't feel like you're talking over one another. So another thing is the labs are extremely relaxed, even on days with evaluations, which was not the case in the virtual lab. So in-person labs would have only like one prescription after the evaluation. In our virtual labs, we had to do two. And it would be much better if there were either additional labs added, because part of the thing is we have to fill so many prescriptions as part of like the program and all of that. It's just a requirement. So like they don't want to probably eliminate prescriptions because then it makes it harder to reach that they need to reach. But if they could even add extra lab days or something like that where they only had to do like one prescription on those days, it would be better. Even have like maybe extra labs some days. I don't really know how they could fix that, but if you could add in a point where you're not doing two prescriptions with full documentation along with the evaluation, it would be just so much easier, in my opinion. So much less stressful on the students. So I'm not sure how they could fix that. It was something that I liked about the in person labs because it didn't feel very rushed with only doing one prescription after evaluations. And then number four, it was nice not having any practical exams. Each lab had us do what we do in the practical exams. Well, I shouldn't say that even. In the in-person labs, it didn't really feel like we had to do as much as what we did in the virtual labs, but it's probably because we had like done what we needed to do in the virtual lab. So they were like just testing those other things that they couldn't really test online, which was the whole idea of the class. It was nice not having the practical exams. It was a lot less stressful not having that with that particular week. And we're kind of, like I said, we're constantly evaluated on this anyways and had been from the very start. What could be improved? Most of it, honestly, I don't think could be improved for the in-person lab. Like, it was great. I loved every second of it. That week went so fast. I thought the days were going to be terrible just because two labs in one day in university, and I would have been like absolutely wiped at the end of each day. But because most of the labs didn't go much over 2 hours, I didn't really notice that, to be quite honest. The only thing I wish could be changed was with the time on the in person time competencies. So on our virtual time competencies, you can basically almost use the full 6 minutes that you're given on like, and I mean like the later ones. So at the start, they give you a little bit more time and then they kind of decrease the time. So the later ones, I feel like if they were to increase it even by like, I would say a minute, even minute and a half, maybe 30 to 60 seconds, I think would be like just that much more breathing room. I think they should make it so that, okay, maybe 15 to 30 seconds. Like, make it so that that printer time isn't being counted. When I was at home being able to do these time competencies, I was giving myself about 30 seconds at the end of our allotted time. And then all I had to do was put it in a folder. Like, there was no printing it, nothing, because it just went into a folder and then I handed it in at the very end with all the rest of them. So if there was a way that I could kind of make up maybe that printer time, I'm not sure. I just felt like it was so much more rushed in person because that printer time and when you're waiting for your label to come back and checking it to see if like anything went wonky on it. So like I said, in person you pretty much had to be printing at like by the time the first timer went off in order to have the ability to do any type of checking before the time was up. So if they could make up somehow like an allotted time about how long it takes to print the prescription and like have someone hand it to you, which is honestly like 15-30 seconds usually, then I think it would be so much more fair. The in-person lab was so much fun and it was great to spend time with people. I kind of wish we had like everyone all in one group though, just so that we could all get to know each other, like everyone. I think that's it though for this one. That's all I had written down that I wanted to talk about. I can't really share anything more. The other thing that was kind of interesting though about it was like, so like when you have a normal prescription bottle, it's like a sticky label. We had to like put it on the vial with like a piece of paper and then use tape. It's bad enough when you're trying to get it straight and make it look nice, and then when you gotta use tape, it's just so much more difficult. So that was kind of an interesting thing too, not actually burning through labels, but those labels are really expensive, so you don't want to be like trying to peel, and they're very hard to peel off on some things too. So the tape was actually better in the end. I like my label. I'm very particular with the labels. Hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I look forward to sharing second year. Classes start, I believe, on August 28th. I don't know what all will be that first day because, like, my first day last year was like orientation basically. They kind of got going that Friday and then there really wasn't much for Labor Day. Probably the week before I will do a preparing for school. So the summer is going to be, I've been on 2 weeks of holidays, actually been very much enjoying it. It's been great to have time to relax. It's been great to have time to just rest up and all of that. I've really needed it actually. I haven't had a proper decent vacation actually since I went to my last meditation retreat. That was in, so this year's 2025. So it was December of 2023. Anyways, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys enjoying witnessing this. I know there's quite a bit of a break in between the last video and then the videos now, but it's just the way it works out. I don't know what to expect with next year. I don't really know how I want to share next year. It probably just depends on kind of what the classes are like. Next year, I'm going to have a lot more learning because we're getting into kind of the more hospital pharmacy stuff. So it's going to be all new and all of that, which I'm looking forward to in a way, but in a way, it's kind of nice having experience that you have something you can go, yeah, okay, I kind of understand what's going on. Subscribe, like, leave a comment. If you guys have any questions you want me to answer with regards to the stuff I'm going to be doing coming up, which is talking a little bit more about life being gluten-free and the challenges that come with that, feel free to drop them in this video or on the post or whatever. It's something that I felt like it's time to talk about it because I get frustrated and I'm hoping that like any place that I can raise awareness on with like making lives easier for people is kind of what I want to do. So, although it might not be IIH or migraines anymore or as much, it's it's another big part of my life and I really haven't had the chance to really like get out my frustrations about gluten free and it's not just for me. It's I'm not technically like celiac, but like I'm so sensitive now that might as well be. If like I had the choice, I wouldn't be gluten free anymore. Not a chance. But yeah, so thanks for joining me and see you in the next one. Bye everyone.